Well, hello YouTubers. This is my first video and I just want to chronicle the real life drama that's been going on for the past 9 months. But I'm going to try to condense it for all of you guys. Basically, what I want to put out there is that I'm a landlord and I've been trying to evict my tenants. I know a lot of you might think that's really cruel and mean, but haven't been in my shoes for the last 9 months with people that have been pretty difficult to deal with. I've been watching a number of videos on YouTube, and I thought, well, why not put this as my first video? Chronicling and explaining what has been going on in my life with this whole thing that's just made me nuts. Well, why I wanted to bring this up today was because of what happened was I went to, for my lawyer, I went into the court, and I spoke to an officer because I have been given a warrant for possession of my property, and basically what that means is that the tenant is served that for whatever reason or for justifiable cause, and then they have 3 days to get their stuff together and get out. But there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on behind the scenes that I don't quite understand, and I want to put out there. The person that I rented to is a Section 8 tenant, and you guys can go over and Google that and figure out what all that stuff is. Well, basically what it is she's getting money from the government to subsidize her staying upstairs. Now, when I first had her come in, she came in as this little lamb, like this little, she was so sweet, she was so nice, she was so soft-spoken, and boy, was I wrong about her. She turned out like all crazy and nuts, and I don't even speak to her. But, so what I wanted to do also was to say, well, getting back to that whole thing about the court, was I went down there today, and I spoke to this supervisor. His name was Officer de Blasio. Now, Officer de Blasio is the supervisor of this constable that's was supposed to come out, as I understood it, on Friday. This Friday, August. What's this Friday date? The date was wrong. I mean, what happened was the officer, the constable that was supposed to get, that was supposed to come out, is on vacation, and he said that he's not going to be able to. So he would leave the case with another officer. So today, my attorney's secretary was calling to find out, who's this officer, this mystery officer is supposed to be, and to come in on Friday to do a lockout, which means that I'm, putting the tenant out, basically, of my, the apartment upstairs. Well, what ended up happening was that I ended up, getting nowhere because I called up the secretary, and she said, I don't know, I keep calling, they won't return my calls, I've left a number of messages. And then my lawyer came on the phone and he said, well, why don't you go down there and, sit right by her office and find out what the heck's going on. So that's what I did. I mean, this was like 3:30, and I had to get down there, and they close at 4:30. So when I get down there, I speak to this, she speaks to her supervisor, I guess this, this Officer de Blasio. And he comes out and he gives me this whole story, this song and dance of, well, the guy's on vacation and he didn't do anything, he didn't say anything to me about it, and and what I don't understand is, according to this warrant thing, let me read it to you, and it's to my tenant. I'll refer to her as Ms. B, and don't read in too much into that, but let me read what what this warrant says to her. Well, it says here from this Officer Vasquez, who was supposed to serve her with the warrant for possession. You hereby commanded to dispossess the tenant and to place the landlord in full possession of the premises listed above. Local police departments are authorized and requested to provide assistance if needed to the officer executing this warrant. Well, and let me read what's going to Ms. B. You are to remove all persons and property from the above premises within 3 days after receiving this warrant. Do not count Saturday, Sunday, and holidays in counting the 3 days. If you fail to move within 3 days, a court officer will thereafter remove all persons from premises between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Thereafter, your possessions may be removed by the landlord subject to applicable law, blah, 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 blah. And, it's I don't know, it's not happening. So what ended up happening was, I go down there, and I don't know if any of this is making any sense, because it's not making any sense to me right now, but, so I'm supposed to go down there and, talk to this guy, and he's giving me this song and dance and saying, well, you don't understand, when they get, when, the paper, look, I did this at the beginning of August, and now it's like, what, it's like the 23rd of August, and I had my lawyer send all the paper to them in the beginning of August, and, now they're trying to get her out. It's supposed to be 3 days, and he said, I don't understand. Well, it's supposed to go to the judge, and then the judge has to give it to the officer, and then the officer has to, mail it, and then come here and serve it, and I don't know what's going on here, but I think there's something going on. Now, by the way, I'm going to give you a little bit backstory on this whole thing. I had been to landlord-tenant court about 9 months ago, and I was trying to get rid of this. I was trying to get rid of her, basically, period, for whatever I could. I just wanted her out. I didn't want her to stay here anymore. It's horrible to have somebody living in your house. Thank God she's not living, in the same space as where I'm living in my apartment. It's a separate apartment, but it's still so frustrating. So I lost my train of thought. But what I wanted to say was, it shouldn't take like 1 month for something like that to happen when, like I read it, it's supposed to be 3 days, and I don't know, this thing seems to be dragging on. But let me get back to that backstory that I was telling you about. So yes, we were at landlord-tenant court about 9 months ago, and I see her there, my tenant Ms. B, and of course she's always, on top of things. She's, we've been playing like this little chess game match going on, and, she seems to be 2 or 3 moves ahead of me. And, and this is a person that doesn't even work. I don't know. But anyway, besides that, I just wanted to say also okay, so she was talking to this person there, and that she knew that was in the office, and I'm like thinking, maybe that was actually working looked like they worked for the courts, and I'm thinking, well, is it possible that maybe she's doing something, her friend in the courthouse is doing something, pulling some strings to help her so that she can just, avoid this whole, being put out? I'm thinking that's quite possible, because everybody seems to be on her side and working for her, and she has a legal aid lawyer, so she doesn't have to pay anything for her lawyer, and whereas me, I'm paying thousands and thousands of dollars here. But that's beside neither here nor there, but I just don't know what's going on. So basically what I want to do with this video is just put it out there.